The truth is, we've become dependent on our most important single resource. And the people who control that resource control us. They have us just where they want us. The oil monopoly's dominance over our lives is so firmly entrenched that it's hard to imagine any other way. But there is a way. The way to break up a monopoly is with competition. And competition can only happen when people can make choices. What if one of our choices could be to use a car that doesn't use any oil at all? In the early days of the automobile industry, automakers were experimenting to find the technology that would best power the horseless carriage. And their first choice was a motor powered by an amazing new source of energy: electricity. But the battery technology of the day limited the range, and the cars were prohibitively expensive. When World War I broke out, it was decided the war machines would be powered by internal combustion engines, fueled by gasoline. But the dream of the electric car refused to die. A brilliant scientist who worked in Thomas Edison's lab quit to develop his own ideas. He would go on to invent radio, X-rays, fluorescent lights, remote control, wireless communication, lasers, and robotics. But perhaps his most important invention was a revolutionary electric motor. His name was Nikola Tesla. Elon Musk made shopping on the internet a reality with his company, PayPal. His more recent ventures include a space company and the creation of an electric luxury car.
When I was like about 12 or 13, I learned that you could be an inventor, and I was reading about people like Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison. So I thought, well, if I could invent things that people found useful, that would be a great thing to do. What we're really showing with the Model S is that it's possible to create a compelling electric car that's aesthetically appealing, has long range, good performance, and that competes with the best of the premium gasoline cars. That was something that the industry did not believe was possible.
Jean-Paul DeJoria is the owner of a hair care line and a famous tequila brand. He's also the owner of a solar panel installation.
These are the panels that help create the energy to power the Tesla. From the sun to the car. Isn't that amazing?
Back in 1987, my partner and I built one of the first solar energy cars to race across Australia. And we knew one day in the future, by gosh, this technology is going to go. And it has.
What kind of an engine runs this? There isn't any engine. This is a space for luggage. Around back, the trunk is for luggage. So you have all this extra space. Well, they really thought this one out. Electric cars are here.
The success of the Tesla S prompted other car makers to roll a fleet of new electric cars onto America's roads. The lowest price model is under $20,000. Almost all of the electrics have at least a 100-mile range, and their batteries are generally guaranteed for 100,000 miles.
What you're getting with an electric vehicle is a huge savings on a monthly basis because you're avoiding the pump and you're paying the equivalent of $1 a gallon gasoline. The biggest part of the cost for an electric vehicle is the battery. Right now, the battery of choice is lithium-ion. It's the same kind of technology that's in your laptops and your cell phones. And that means the manufacturers learn how to make these batteries cheaper. In the next 7 years, we'll see battery prices probably cut in half.
In 10 years, maybe a little less than 10 years, there will be long-range compelling, affordable electric cars for all price ranges. In the future, I think there will be no gas stations. People will all have electric cars. They will charge the cars primarily at home and sometimes at work. And for long-distance travel, there will be fast charge stations where you can charge your car very rapidly and conveniently. Probably the biggest value that Tesla will have on the automotive industry is not the cars we make ourselves, but what we convince the industry can be done.
Despite the potential of EVs to be powered by renewable energy, most of today's electricity comes from natural gas, coal, and nuclear.
The only way to have solar and wind be effective as a supply source is if you have an electric car, because we don't use oil to generate electricity in this country. And right now in this country, we have 100 or 120,000 electric vehicles. And we have 250 million liquid fuel vehicles. The time it will take us before everyone in the United States switches over to driving an electric vehicle, when's the next time that you, the viewers of this movie, are going to buy a new car?
So when I describe the future of what's after the internal combustion engine, people say, how long will it take? I think it'll take 3 to 4 decades.
Eventually, most of our cars will be run by electric motors. But what about the hundreds of millions of internal combustion engines on the road right now? How can a country drastically reduce its need for oil in the world we live in today?